Hi guys, this is Shelly with Natural Women's Network, and I'm about to create or make a DIY body scrub. You know, it's the fall season and the weather has gotten really cold really fast. And for me, this is the worst time of the year because my dry skin kicks in to the umpteenth degree. So I went and did some research and found a DIY body scrub that I'm going to make to try to help cure this dry skin condition that I have. If you care to see how I make it, then just keep watching. Okay guys, I'm taking some rolled oats and I'm measuring out, I believe a half a cup of rolled oats, and I'm going to kind of grind them into a fine dust. But what you will see, what you will see is that my food processor is not the best. So if you have a better food processor, just make sure you grind the oats up really, really fine to where they're almost like in a powder form. Here you will see that I end up having some of the oats still whole and not all the way grind. But nevertheless, definitely if you have a more high-speed food processor, definitely grind it to a powder. And so I do this for maybe about a minute or so just to make sure that I'm getting all of it. And you'll see I take a look and then I start it up again because it's not as fine as I want it to be. Next up, we're going to take the shea butter, some unrefined shea butter. And it's no real measurement here because the recipe that I found, again, does not call for shea butter. It actually called for coconut oil and jojoba oil. So I didn't have enough jojoba oil, so I used shea butter and melted it down. And that's what you see me doing right now. So I'm putting that in, submerging a glass bowl into a pot of water that I'm going to turn the heat up on just a little bit so that it can dissolve the butter into liquid form. And what you see is basically the heat building up in the pot and the butter turning to liquid form. Now I'm adding a tablespoon of coconut oil. And the heat is really not high. It's probably like a low medium heat. But it's definitely just to get both of the oils to a liquid form so that they can mix and blend together. So I leave this on for maybe about 30 seconds, but I'm definitely watching it because I don't want it to overburn and I don't want to lose the essential properties of both of the oils by leaving it on the stove too long. So you definitely want to eyeball it and you want to keep an eye on it. You don't want to walk away and leave this on the stove. Even if you have it on a low heat, you definitely want to watch it because the moment that you see it all turn to liquid form, you want to take it off the stove and let it cool. Not too long because it'll return back to its solid form, but you definitely want it to cool off just a little bit. And so you see all of it is dissolved, and now I'm about to take it off the stove. So now I'm going to get 1 cup of sugar, excuse me, and add my oats. And you'll see most of them are going in still in whole form, but not quite ground to a powder. And next I'm going to add a tablespoon of raw honey. And pour that in the mix. And then I'm going to follow that up with adding the oils. The glass is still hot, so I'm going to just use a cloth to be sure I'm not burning myself. And next, here is where I think I veered off in the process. I am adding some essential oils and vanilla extract just for scent purposes. This is rosemary. I thought it would be stimulating like it is for your scalp, more so for the body. And I'm just adding 5 drops in there. But in the end, you will see, or you will note from my review, that it didn't help. And I'm just adding a quarter of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, I'm adding this only for scent purposes. The recipe that I did find did call for vanilla extract, and really it was only for to add an aroma to it, a scent. Nothing really in the sense of it having any beneficial effect to the scrub, but just more so for scent purposes. And so now you're seeing me mix it up really fine, making sure that all that goodness is mixed in, all the oils. I'm moisturizing the not only the sugar but also the oats. Had to get a bigger spoon because that knife just wasn't working. And so I'm just stirring it up really good to make sure everything is coated really well with all the oils. Get it a little closer so you guys can see. I think you guys get the drift. Just keep mixing until you feel like you got the entire ingredients coated really well with all the oils. So now I'm going to get an airtight container and put it in there. Scraping it all in so that way when I'm ready to use it for bath time, then I have it easily accessible. And it will keep several weeks if it's kept in an airtight container and out of direct sunlight. So you know how they say keep it in a cool, dry place. That's where you want to store it. Okay, guys, so you saw me make the DIY body scrub. I'm going to go and try it out, and I'll come back tomorrow to let you guys know how it was. I'm hoping that it is as effective as it was designed to be. 2 things to note: that it called for jojoba oil, where I use shea butter instead and melt it down. Additionally, it did not call for the rosemary or the vanilla, but you can add any essential oils that you want to just to boost the smell for you. And so I thought that that would be some sort of deliciousness, if I could say that, to the scrub. But I will come back and let you guys know how well it was, and whether or not I highly recommend it, or if there are some tweaks to the recipe that I can recommend. I lost my footage, but here are my thoughts, the pros and the cons.